which makes me go, man, I love Alec Newman as an actor, which is why I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table as Cliff. But I also know going into it that the story is not going to be the main selling point of Crimson Desert. The main story, main selling point is it's an action-adventure game with lots of things to do in a pretty world. But a pretty world can be soulless if that's just a list of activities to do. My biggest concern is that the game started off as an MMO, and all of those activities that were being offered as things to do are what look to be things that were previously designed to be dailies in an MMO. Send your companions out to gather crafting components. Knock off these 10 things off the list of things to do today. Whereas I'm much more of a, follow a main storyline type of player. I also know that the main story has boss fights, and there's no difficulty level. There's no difficulty setting in Crimson Desert. That's a tough one for me because I like having I like story mode. And I'm not a big fan of being told, and the developers have said this is a thing, boss mobs require you to get good gear to get past. You will need to build up your resists. And that, as long as the getting of the gear is fun, because I did finally see a video that had quests, and the actual quests looked good that he was doing. Like, the voice acting looked good, and some of them felt like generic fetch quests, but it was like, maybe this could be interesting. So I'm skeptical, but I'm not, like I said, it does not appear to be the second coming to me. It looks like a interesting game. I'm doing that one for the channel. I literally am playing that one for the views. If it weren't for the fact that it was getting tons of traffic around all of the videos I've done, I would probably skip that one and wait for it to go on discount. Or wait until I heard somebody else. But, I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. We'll see. It's one of those risks that I'll take once or twice a year. See if the game is good. See if I like it. But I'd say at this point, I only like about half of what I've seen about it so far. The rest of it, I'm kind of like, meh. We will see. That's the only Risk game I know of at the moment. Everything else I'm scheduled to play are things that I know I want to play. I really only go out of my way once or twice a year to play games that I'm not necessarily 100% on board with, because there are so many games that come out that it's pretty easy for me to just stick to the games I know I'm going to like. So I have to go out of my way to fill in the gaps.
Show them what we're made of.
Oh, there's a trail.
The trail goes this way.
I don't know if that's the right trail to follow.
We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to be here.
Shit, is this
Look
where I'm
out.
supposed to be?
Gods. We'll have to be careful. We're not supposed to be here. Show them what we're made of.
Oh my god, that's a lot. Oh, we ducked, so we ran away and they just froze. That was weird. I have not watched Knight of Seven Kingdoms, no. I still haven't watched the final episode of Starfleet Academy because I just got home a couple days ago. And I haven't had a chance to finish watching that. So as soon as I wrap up Starfleet Academy, Chris and I had started watching the Avatar films. We watched the first one. At some point in the next week or two, we should start Knight of Seven Kingdoms. Yes, I love science fiction. I love fantasy too, but sci-fi is usually my preferred above. Oh, here's the key. Duarte and Zahid acknowledge receiving the 600k. I will attack savages. His testament, that's what I needed.
This is some sort of contract between the emissary and Duarte, the false witness. It's all very clear. She paid him to alert the head guard and to tell him he'd seen us attacking the others. There's even a bonus fee for going to Troy. There's also a note, undoubtedly for a future report. It explains the entire plan. I should read it in more detail. This could turn the tables at the Troy.
Right. Level 19. No, I don't, Weaslow. I think that the people who hate Starfield are going to always hate Starfield. Doesn't matter what happens or what changes they make or what improvements make, they're always going to find a reason to hate the game. That's just the way some people are. But you can already see the fact that it is one of the best-selling items on the PlayStation Store as of right now, up there with Crimson Desert. Which goes to show you that Starfield is dead is such a bullshit lie, because there are so many people buying that game and ready to play it on the PlayStation. And the trailer, just on Twitter X, the trailer was up to like 1.9 billion views this morning. I don't know where it's at now, probably like 2.5 or 3 million. Oh, I have a talent too. More mechanics, please. You're not getting Tia. I don't think we're getting Elder Scrolls 6 in 2027. I mean, it's possible, but I think it'll be more likely 2028. I mean, it's possible. Like 2023, they publish. I mean, they usually publish every 4 to 5 years. So at the earliest, it would be the end of 2027. But I would think it's more likely 2028 will be Elder Scrolls 6. Um, I would love to be wrong on that. Either way, I will be waiting for and excited for Elder Scrolls 6, and I cannot wait. Present your evidence at the trial. So I don't get an option. I have to just fast track. I have to literally physically cross the boundaries before I get access to the city map. Morpheus says some people just can't stand Bethesda for whatever reason. Yeah, it's a weird thing. There's people who are like that about EA. People who are like that about BioWare. So yeah.
There you are. Any news? Preparations are underway on my side, but without your help, I'll have trouble defending you.
Alright, we have a whole bunch of information.
We discovered that the emissary has a hideout outside the city where she carried out business deals. She had documents there proving beyond doubt that she was behind the whole thing.
Ah, I suspected as much. But why would she do that?
So that the Knots would have no sympathy for my people. That they would think we are savages, and would have no second thoughts about participating in our destruction.
It's horrifying, and I'm furious at the idea that someone could have tried to manipulate our people in this way. This emissary won't get away with it, I promise.
You hope so. I've watched people can play the Remedy games. I've never personally played them. If I get a chance, I would like to play the new Control game. It looks very intriguing, but it's just going to be a scheduling thing.
We found 2 witnesses who could vouch for us. The ink mistress, who heard the scene though she couldn't see it, and the carpenter who witnessed the whole thing. However, the carpenter warned us that his word would carry little weight.
What can the ink mistress report?
That she heard one of the men from the Bridge Alliance insult us before the attack.
So that contradicts the idea that this was an unwarranted attack. But it doesn't justify murder.
No, it
and
doesn't.
this carpenter...
He witnessed the whole thing and can confirm our innocence. But he told us that his testimony wouldn't help us.
I know who you're talking about, and he's not wrong. His past actions mean he's hardly credible. And his support for Alvida could easily be called into question. So if I were you, I'd think twice before putting him on the stand. It would be better to find other evidence.
The combat
or
in this
find
game
the
just depends on what you want it
prosecution's
to be.
infamous witness before going to
I'm
trial.
playing on easy mode with everything scaled down because I don't want to deal with the tactical side of things, but you can play this as a real-time with pause. You can play it as a turn-based game. You can put it into third-person action so that you don't ever have to deal with your companions whatsoever. There's 3 different modes of gameplays that you can choose on how you play this game. So I wouldn't judge it based off of what my gameplay looks like because I'm playing this game the way that I want to play it, and everybody else can adjust this game the way they want because it very much does has adjustable settings. I've got a video up on YouTube that talks about the tactical combat in this game and the game systems because you can change how you play this game. It could be a third-person action RPG over the shoulder where it's just you and your companions are autonomous. I'm in the tactical mode, which means technically I can pause the game and have my companions do actions if I want them to, but I just have the AI turned on so that they do things independent of me, and then I just sort of only pause the game if things are getting out of hand. But I also cranked the easy mode way up yesterday because I was tired of dealing with the length of the fights. So the combat can be wildly different in this game depending on what gameplay options you're choosing and what difficulty you're setting, and everything is scalable, like enemy damage, your damage, AI, intelligence, the amount of abilities you can use, how often you pause, do you use pause, like all that stuff is adjustable. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube in the playlist.
We've spoken to the prosecution's witness, who won't be testifying at the trial.
Excellent. I hope you didn't use any
I think Co
underhanded
Carnage is
methods
playing
that could
hybrid
backfire.
mode, which is the
But
in the
this will
middle
give you a
mode.
much better chance
I'm
at
playing
clearing your
tactical
names,
mode,
as the emissary
but I
will
have the
nothing to
AI
back up
turned
her
on.
accusations.
Other people are playing
The whole
tactical with the
affair
AI
seems
turned
suspicious,
off.
but the witness's
And some people are
reversal
playing
makes
with
me think
everything
there's
turned
more
off
to
so that
it
you have to
than that.
manually choose the
Some
actions for
dark
every single
plot
party member
whose
every
inner
single
workings
turn.
we may never understand.
I don't know anything about your justice system. What will happen during the trial?
Everything takes place in the Admiral's Council Chamber, which you've already visited. The prosecution, represented by the Alliance's emissary, will present their evidence and their witnesses. We'll be able to cross-examine them, of course, and I'll follow your instructions. Then we'll present our own evidence and witnesses, so all you have to do is tell me who to call and what to present. The witnesses and evidence will be cross-examined by the emissary, who will do everything in her power to find weaknesses in them. Finally, the Council will present its decision, which will hopefully be in our favor.
1 second here. Hang on, I'm getting sidetracked over on Twitter X. Cammy from Bethesda was just saying we were oogling over the Star Wars Galactic Racer content video that just came out earlier today. Cause yeah, Pod Racer looks good. Oh, there is no controversy. It's a bunch of people being up in arms about nothing. We literally talked about it last night. It's like it's the only people upset are people who don't understand what DLSS is. There's a lot of people who don't understand the difference between generative AI and what DLSS is doing. It's so yeah, there's no controversy. There ain't no controversy like a fake controversy. Starfield trailer on Twitter X is up to 2.4 million Nah, I won't be releasing any content around it. It's a non-issue for me on my channel. On the DLSS stuff. Where did this go? Oh shit! Check this out, guys. So it's up even higher now. Hang on, I am gonna bring this over. Hold up. We gotta bring this window capture here. Check that shit out. So, as of right now, it's 3:50 p.m. the 18th. So it's only been up for sale for a day. It has just the trailer on the PlayStation Twitter X account. It has 2.4 million views. And Starfield is the number 3 best-selling game on the PlayStation pre-order store after Crimson Desert, which launches tomorrow. So the number 1 biggest selling right now is, of course, Crimson Desert, because that's the big, game that everyone's waiting for. But guess what? All those people who claim that Starfield is dead, no one's playing Starfield, it's a trash game. I love it. I love to see it. Like, this is great, It just goes to prove that it's a Bethesda game. It's gonna have an audience. Like, it's not rocket science, guys. Like, people love Bethesda games. End of story. That's great. I haven't even pre-ordered my copy yet. Yeah, and Starfield's not even a new game, exactly. It's like, it's a 2.5-year-old game, but because it's coming to PlayStation finally, it's got a massive built-in audience that's ready to go, chomping at the bits. It's good to see. And PlayStation players are really getting the best version of the game because they've ironed out all these kinks. Free Lanes is an awesome update. Congratulations, Bethesda. Love to see it.
We still have more to do and more evidence to find. We'll come back to see you later.
Alright, I need to save the game here, and then we're going to go into the trial and see what happens.
There you are. Any news? Preparations are underway on my side, but without your help, I'll have trouble defending you.
We think we're ready for the trial.
I think we have more than enough to clear you.
We'll find out.
Remember to give me all the documents I'll need to show, as well as the names of the witnesses, and we can go. Don't forget that during the trial, it will be up to you to tell me who to call and what to share.
Great. I have to manually do this. Good thing I saved it, because I might screw it up. Well, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Defendants, take your seats. The trial is about to begin. We are gathered here before Admirals Cabral and Barcelos. I shall be representing the inhabitants of this island. Our aim is to clarify the events that took place in front of the Ink Mistress's workshop, which led to the deaths of several of the Bridge Alliance emissaries' escorts. The emissary will represent the prosecution. Is the emissary here and ready to present her arguments?
I am. And I will prove, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that these savages murdered my escort and brought chaos to this island.
The defendants are Captain Alvida and the group of foreigners who are her guests. They are represented by the master of the shipyard.
We are also ready.
Very well. The prosecution has the floor.
Your honors, Noughts, I come here to seek justice for the lives of my men who were murdered on your streets. And I will prove to you that these savages are the killers.
Please explain how your men ended up in this part of town, when they were supposed to be part of your escort.
I'd given them the afternoon off, so I assume they were sightseeing. That's when they were attacked by these islanders and their companions.
Why would they do that?
Because they're savages. Ever since my people first set foot on Tir Fridi, we witnessed nothing but savagery. They constantly reject any form of progress. They kill people, massacre them if need be, and then pass themselves off as victims. They lure far more sophisticated people into their nets and make them pay for their crimes. Which explains why these eminent representatives of other peoples from the continent, as well as Captain Alvida, are here.
This whole speech sounds like an indictment, but you haven't provided any evidence.
This is true. Do you have any evidence or witnesses to call?
I do. I call Longshoreman Duarte to the stand.
Well,
Thanks, Morpheo.
where is your witness, emissary?
I don't have the slightest idea.
You're wasting our time, emissary. Do you have any other witnesses?
I'll call the head guard.
The head guard didn't show up until after the fight.
Don't worry. We can cross-examine him if you wish.
Very well. Can you tell us what you witnessed that day?
We were on patrol in the neighborhood, and a longshoreman came to tell us that some savages had attacked a group of Alliance foreigners. We got there as quickly as we could, but by the time we arrived, the savages were putting away their weapons and the others were lying dead on the ground.
Is there any way they could have just been passing by and had drawn their weapons to assist my men?
No, they were covered in the men's blood, and we saw them finish off the last one as we approached. I'm sorry. I wish we'd gotten there sooner. We could have saved your men.
You did your duty. What could you have possibly done in the face of such savagery? What happened next?
We wanted to arrest them, but the master of the shipyard intervened and reminded us that we could only arrest the captain.
A law that's difficult to swallow when it's obvious that the ones it benefits are the true culprits, and the innocent must shoulder the burden of their crimes.
In the context of this court, you will abstain from criticizing our laws, emissary.
Of course, forgive me. I have no further questions for this witness.
Does the defense wish to question the witness?
Yes.
Ask him if he can confirm who started the attack.
According to your own testimony, you did not witness the attack, yet you arrested the captain.
Well, those men have been killed, and it was obvious that the captain and her friends were responsible for their deaths.
Really? Would the scene you discovered have been different if these people were the victims of a vicious attack and were only defending themselves?
I suppose the scene would have been the same, yes. But the longshoreman.
Since the longshoreman isn't here, what he told you can't be trusted. What was the first thing the defendants said to you when you tried to arrest them?
They were only defending themselves.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Now that the prosecution has presented its evidence and witnesses, it's time for the defense to present its case.
It's our turn now. What would you like us to present first?
It's a good question. Let's present the evidence first.
We shall now proceed to show our evidence.
We would now like to present some evidence that has come to light in the course of our investigation.
Evidence? Evidence of what?
Emissary, the defense has the floor. Please allow the master of the shipyard to present his case.
I have here a document signed by this very emissary. which mentions an agreement with a certain Duarte, who works as a longshoreman. The document states that this man is to alert the head guard that an attack is taking place against the Alliance's men. It also states that he will have to testify before this court and specifically identify the natives from Tir Fredi as being behind the attack. The reward for this service is a very substantial sum of money.
It must be a forgery. A forgery created by the defendants to escape a fair punishment.
As our master librarian is a handwriting specialist, I suggest that he examine this contract and give us his expert opinion on the matter.
I will look into this during the deliberations. Have you found any other evidence?
We would like to present this report, which was found in a hideout, where this very emissary was participating in suspicious activities.
How dare you? What kind of scandalous accusation is that?
Scandalous! What's up,
Explain
Porchek?
yourself,
Starfleet
Master of
launching
the
on your
shipyard.
birthday is awesome.
It is
Yeah,
highly
there you go.
unusual to describe the person representing the prosecution in this manner.
How else can I describe the activities that required the emissary to travel to an obscure cabin in the inland territory? Not to mention the fact that this report describes these activities in great detail.
Lies, lies, and more lies. An outrageous forgery.
Let the defense continue.
The emissary and her men were obviously making deals with some of our more law-averse Nauts to smuggle contraband.
For shame. Master, I'm counting on you to give us these documents so that we can find the culprits.
Yes. We won't let a few bad apples spoil the guild's reputation.
And just how did you find this obviously forged report?
You may ask your questions when the defense has finished. Carry on, Master of the Shipyard.
In addition to the highly instructive explanations of their smuggling activities, these documents also include a very important element that is of interest in these proceedings. The attack is clearly planned out in detail. The head guard was to be alerted as soon as it took place. If the Alliance men were able to kill the natives, the captain and her companions, then the testimony of the longshoreman and the head guard was to have cleared them of any suspicion. If not, well, we've all seen how the rest of the plan was to play out.
Nonsense! This is unacceptable.
Why would the emissary have planned such a dire scheme that would surely put the lives of her men at risk?
The report is very clear on this point. The aim was to decidedly tarnish the natives' reputation in our eyes. Some are starting to raise their voices here against what's happening in Tir Fredi, especially concerning the deportation of the natives. If we all thought the natives were savages and beasts, we'd have fewer scruples about dealing with them. Wouldn't we?
That's exactly what they are.
That's
Animals.
enough, ma'am. How dare you?
We will study this report carefully. And if it proves to be true, you'll be the one to answer for it.
Master, do you have any further
Man, I feel like
evidence
we
to
don't even
submit?
need to call witnesses
No.
at this point.
We have nothing further to present to the court.
I guess we can do the witnesses now.
I call the Ink Mistress to the stand.
I wonder
Can
if we
you
even
tell us
need
what
to.
happened during the attack in front of your workshop?
I was inside my workshop at the time of the attack, and unfortunately, I didn't see the fight.
That's a very useful testimony.
The prosecution will refrain from commenting until the floor is opened. Continue, Mistress.
I didn't see anything, but I did hear what happened. I clearly heard someone shouting something before the fighting started.
Can you tell us what was shouted?
Not entirely, but I distinctly heard the words savage and traitor.
It was the native who was shouting as he threw himself at my men.
No, I didn't recognize the voice. It wasn't any of the defendants. It was a different voice. What's more, I'd like to add that the defendants were thoughtful, not the savages they've been made out to be.
Thank you, Mistress. It seems clear that the attack was preceded by insults that were proffered by the emissary's men. This contradicts her version of the events.
I don't believe a word of it.
Madam, we have tolerated your repeated interruptions, despite our requests to respect the protocol. But we will not tolerate you questioning the word of an eminent figure on our island.
Eminent figure. Yeah, I'm gonna not use him, Greyforge.
No, I have no questions for the
because
venerable
his reputation gets called into question.
Would you like to call Silvio the Carpenter to testify?
I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I'll let you decide.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
I don't know this island well enough, so I'll take Alvida's advice. We'd better not call him to the stand.
Although his testimony is the most complete, I agree with you.
Does the defense have any other witnesses to call?
I was thinking of calling Alvida to the stand. You were all witnesses, but her word carries more weight here than yours. What do you think?
Let Alvida testify.
Call Alvida. She can testify for us all.
I'm more than willing to answer your questions, and those of this snake.
I call the defendant, Captain Alvida, to the stand. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what happened that day, in your own words?
My name is Captain Alvida. I had just received my new ink when it happened.
Can you remind the court of what you did to earn this new rank?
I sailed from the coast of Tynea to Yaxantis in a fisherman's skiff.
A true feat. Please continue.
We barely set foot outside the ink mistress's shop when a group of Alliance men approached. One of them shouted at us that we were savages and traitors to our people, and that they were going to show us our true place. Then they attacked us. Fortunately, we were able to defeat them. It was only then that the head guard arrived. He wanted to arrest everyone, and you stopped him. So, I was the only one who was taken to jail, since my friends here were my guests.
Thank you, Captain. I have no further questions.
Does the prosecution have any questions for this witness?
Of course. Captain, are you sure your savage friend here didn't attack my men before you had time to see it? You wouldn't be the first person to trust in these animals and be betrayed by them.
I'm absolutely certain that the events took place just as I described them. And please don't compare my friend to an animal.
Your attachment to defending this wretch proves his hold over you. He's turned you into his puppet, to the point where you're willing to lie for him.
Enough. I won't let you attack a witness when you're suspected of having paid off yours.
I have no further questions.
Master, we have no further witnesses.
We have nothing more to add.
The defense has presented all of its evidence, and will now defer to the council's judgment.
In that case, we will now take leave to deliberate.
Can't I plead my case?
If you were hoping to make a case for your ideas, you should know that's not how things work around here. The witnesses and the evidence are presented, and anyone can examine and refute them, but the final decision is the council's. We'll return once a unanimous decision has been made. The council has come to a decision, and I'll let Admiral Cabral announce the verdict.
Given the evidence that was presented, we have come to the conclusion that the defendants are innocent.
Damn straight.
This is a travesty.
Silence. We don't have enough evidence to prove your responsibility in this tragic affair. However, we shall keep a close eye on you from now on, so you'll have a Nort escort with you at all times. I advise you to finish your business here quickly and return to Tynea as soon as possible. And don't even think about troubling our exonerated guests again.
The council has ruled, and the court is adjourned.
I have
You're
spoken.
free, and may do as you please until you're ready to board your ship, Captain. Despite the trial, I've had the shipyard working on it, and it'll be ready to sail with the tide tomorrow.
Nice.
Captain, I know what you think of me, what everyone thinks of me. But could I have a word with you?
What is it?
I hear you're looking for your mother's logbook. I know where it is.
Is that so? How could you possibly know that?
I'll tell you when the time comes, but not here. Meet me at the tavern when you're done.
I don't trust you, Silvio, but I'll come. It would
I
be
know,
wrong
right,
not to
Gray?
hear you out at least once.
Just a little document. Makes all the help in the world. I need to get level 30 to unlock that. Alright, I've leveled up all I can there. I did. Yeah, the document at the camp. Yep. That's part of what I handed over to them. Loading, please wait. Oh no, it's a loading screen. How dare they?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for getting me out of there. I'm sorry that even here, you've once again been victim to the Alliance's evil schemes. But I'll get you home. I swore I would do it, and I shall. Tomorrow, we'll have a ship. And even if I can't take you to Tier 4D straight away, it's a first step.
Why do we not leave now? You say you want to take us home, but in the next breath, you tell us we have to wait.
Because this kind of expedition is incredibly expensive. Sailing to Tier 4D takes months and costs a fortune. You're going to need a protector. A patron. But don't look at me. I don't have a coin to my name. My family does, though.
I know someone who wants to go home, too.
Not in the least. I'm very happy to be here with you. You're far less dangerous than my uncle.
We can choose our destination once we're aboard the ship. In the meantime, we can take a break at the tavern or go for a walk. Anything you like. As long as there are no bars on the windows.
Fair enough.
Wait. I'm sorry. I overheard your conversation. I'd like to accompany you. Even if I have to wait, I'd like to go to Tier 4D with you.
There are enough of your people on our island already.
And you can surely find another ship. The Alliance regularly funds crossings to Hikmet.
That's true. I could probably find backing for a map-making mission, but I'd have to make compromises I'm not willing to make with people I despise. Please, let me prove that not all of my people are manipulators and forces of destruction.
She did warn us and helped us with the framing.
And having an ally in the Alliance could be useful.
The best I can do is to offer to let you come aboard my ship. Whether or not you can be a part of our group is a decision that's for the others to make.
Right. Sounds to me like we need to head to the tavern. Ooh, yeah, that's interesting, Deeks. IGN gave a, for now, score of 6 for Crimson Desert. That's interesting. Six, 7. Sorry, not sorry. Oh. Yeah, so we can't even add her to the party at the moment. She said talk to me back at the tavern. Where is she? Sophia. I wonder if she's upstairs. Oh, there she is. Alvida. My bad.
So, what can you tell me? Thank you for coming.
So, of course.
Silvio was just going to tell me where he thinks I might find my mother's logbook.
Tomorrow, you'll be given a ship. Your mother's ship, to be precise.
But I thought it was lost in the storm.
Lost? No. But it did suffer tremendous damage. It's been recovered and repaired. As you know, I was the shipwright working on her ship. Before her accident, your mother asked me to build her a cache. A cache in her cabin, just big enough to hold a logbook. If her logbook still exists, it must be there.
What do you know of Alvida's mother's fate?
Unfortunately, everyone knows what happened and who is responsible.
I have always worked my hardest on all the ships I was assigned to, and I would never have let your mother, for whom I had great respect, go to sea on a dangerous ship. I don't know what happened. There weren't many survivors, and I never had the chance to talk to them. According to the official report, the weakened ship was unable to weather the storm, and for that reason it ran aground not far from the island, resulting in the death of the captain and some of her crew. But I know that's impossible.
Why did you come to find Alvida now? Why didn't you tell her about this earlier?
The trial undoubtedly roused his remorse.
It has nothing to do with the trial. Even if I would have liked to have had a louder voice to help save you from this masquerade. If I've come now, it's because you are going to take possession of the Constancia. You, on your mother's ship. It's too good an opportunity to miss. For I know that the captain's logbook will prove my innocence.
Okay.
Didn't you lose?
Yeah,
your
it doesn't
position
sound.
because of what happened to the
It
Constancia?
doesn't sound promising.
Indeed.
Deeks.
Admiral Barcelos found me guilty of what had happened to the captain. I think he even suspects me of having done it on purpose. But since there was no real evidence against me, they just banned me from working on ships.
Thank you for answering our questions.
I still don't trust you, Silvio. But I'll check the cabin on the Constantia once we're on board.
Oh, I sincerely hope that the logbook is still there. Because then everyone will see that I was
Sitting at a
falsely
77
accused.
on Metacritic
I'll go
right
back
now.
to my workshop now. Thank you for listening.
Most people are criticizing the fact that it has too many things going on at the same time and it can't find its own identity. The inventory seems to be a major pressure point for a lot of people, the lack of inventory. And I'm seeing lots of reports of laughably bad story and complaints that it says Dynasty Warrior level of waves of mobs. Yeah, none of that sounds that great. So like hordes and hordes of mobs. Also, the idea of moving a flag around the battlefield sounds completely boring.
I wanted to tell you how sorry I am
We'll
about
see.
what happened
I'll
to
be
your
playing
friend
tomorrow.
Shada.
I'll know for more.
Losing her must have been terrible. You were close.
I wonder if that's going
and
to be
she
one I
died
actually
in
make it
such
through,
an
or if I
unfair,
end up
cruel
not
way.
finishing it.
I am so
I
sorry
hope
for
it's
your
not
loss.
as bad as some people are
If
making
you
it
ever
out to
need
be.
someone to talk to, I'd be very happy to listen.
That was what I took a risk on, so we'll see if the $70 is worth it or not.
What does being a knot mean to you? I get the impression that when you talk about the knots, you talk about them as if they were your clan, your family.
That's true. I don't know what being part of a clan means to you, but the Knots are my family. Quite literally, to begin with. After all, my family are Knots, but it's more than just our lineage. The sea, the ships, Huxantis, our knowledge of navigation, and even the rules that govern us are all a part of me.
Yeah, inventory space
Part of my
should never be an
history.
issue.
I'm proud to be
At the very
a Knot.
least, give you storage chests.
I'm proud to ride the waves.
But they said there's no storage chests in the
Even
game.
if I'm not always proud.
Like, how can you have a game that
of the
doesn't have
things we
storage
agree to
chests
do on
when you're
behalf of
expected to be
others?
crafting your gear
We're
and
not
crafting
really
upgrades
a
as you go
people.
along?
The many sea given
That
who
sounds
come from around the world
really bad.
are just as much Knots as I am. The thing that unites us is the belief that we share the sea. The sea is the bond we
What's
all
up, chappers? Yes, we are
and
playing
Huxantis is
GreedFall.
our home. I imagine it's an idea
GreedFall 2,
that
to be
must seem
specific.
strange to an outsider.
Yes, I admit it's a bit strange. Our people don't have guilds. It's a concept I wasn't familiar with. But I'm glad you shared your feelings about it. And your bond with the other Knots.
And I'm happy to have been able to share them with you. But watch out. Once you get me started on a topic, it's hard to make me stop.
I won't bother you any longer.
Don't worry. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
It is always a pleasure to get to talk to me, but this is where we wrap it up for the night, everybody. We've already done 8 hours of streams today. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. I still have some video editing to get done today. And I gotta feed my cats, and I still gotta work out for the day because I haven't done any exercises yet. I will be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, for more Starfield, and then tomorrow afternoon we are going to start Crimson Desert at the start time of 4 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific, and we're gonna see if we like it or not. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, there's more videos coming out today on YouTube. Yeah, I'm worried now, Deeks. I try not to read too much into it, but I am concerned now because I knew that I wasn't going to resonate with a lot of stuff. But while we were talking and while the NPCs were going up, I was reading other reviews on Metacritic and stuff, and it's looking like there's a lot more negatives than positives, and I know I'm gonna bounce off the inventory thing because especially in a game where they're telling you to get stuff so that you can craft items, but then they don't give you an inventory space to get the items, and they don't give you storage. What game doesn't give you storage chests? I also, it's concerning that they talk about overwhelming levels of mobs and one-hit monsters and stuff. That makes me. Well, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. In the meantime, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here. We had a bunch of renewals and super chats and memberships and everything else. If you are a new channel member on YouTube, make sure to check out the channel video. We did a member video yesterday at the end of the day, talk about a whole bunch of cool stuff. So go check that out if you haven't already done so. And I will see everybody tomorrow morning for more Starfield. Till then, stay safe and happy gaming.